right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are once again. Guess what episode this is? Episode 7, baby.
Man, one of these days we'll stop saying the number. At least we talked about it.
We have talked about it.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is Damon.
This is Mike.
And this is a damn good show.
Damn good, too.
As usual, thank you for hanging out.
Thank you.
This is our weekly episode, number 7. We don't really have anything to recap this week, but we just kind of want to get right into it.
Gonna jump into it. One of my favorite sayings is, I want you in my belly.
Get into my belly.
Get into my belly.
Why is that? Because we're going to talk
about food.
We're going to talk about food.
We're going to talk about food today.
Fun topic.
Oh, it's a wonderful topic. I know some of you out there are food connoisseurs, so I figured that this will be a good opportunity to share some of our stories growing up as kids, to things that we ate back then, to things that we eat now, and then also get into a little conversation about food allergies.
Yeah, man. Everybody likes food.
Everyone likes food.
Actually, I'll give you a real quick example before we get into it.
Uh-huh.
I was in New Orleans. I was taking a taxi cab from the airport to downtown, and I was just asking the guy, "Hey, man, can you offer up a place to go? Like, where can I go downtown?" He kind of course, scoffed at me. Right, you're in New Orleans, and I said, "Yeah, I'm just looking for a place to go." He said, "Okay, listen to me." He said, "If you go downtown and you find something to eat and you don't like it in New Orleans, you don't like to eat." Basically saying there's nothing but good food down there.
There's nothing but good food. So that's why he was shocked, because you're saying, where can I go to get something good?
Well, to him, right, the old guy, right, he's like, that's a stupid question. You're in New Orleans, man.
Everything is good.
Come on. Anyway, everybody likes food. So,
well, everything is good. It's perspective. I was in Belize with my father one time.
Yeah.
And he took us to some dive to get something to eat. Now, the food was phenomenal.
Because dives always have the best places.
Oh, yeah. It was phenomenal. However, around 2 a.m. in the morning, that food wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't as phenomenal.
Came back to haunt you?
Yeah, it did. So after 2.5 hours of dealing with that, and getting, a little rest afterwards, we are heading out for another day of activities, and my father is like, you got to have an iron stomach. He didn't have any symptoms, over the night. 4 hours into the day, he disappears.
Oh, yeah?
Now, we're out in the streets.
It hits you at a different time.
And he disappears, and we're trying to figure out where he is. He was...
Oh, and you're Belize, too. Yeah. He could have just disappeared into a van somewhere. You can get worried.
He's native, so he can
he lives there. All right, cool.
He's native. But anyway, yeah.
That's crazy.
You got to be careful on where you eat. But I want to go back. I want to go all the way back to my childhood days.
Back into time.
I have family members, my grandmother in Mississippi.
Mississippi.
We used to go down to Mississippi.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the name. I know it was in Jacksonville. It was Wynonna, Mississippi.
Huh.
And this is out in the middle of nowhere. But we would go and visit my grandmother.
Like Wynonna Ryder?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's the actual spelling, but it
sounds
was
right.
Small town.
Never
And we would go and visit, and it was always exciting to go and see her. Now, don't get me wrong. We wanted to see my grandmother. It was always good to go and see her. But one of the main reasons why we wanted to go was to eat. It was to eat. I mean, there was no small meals.
Yeah.
There was no such thing as a small meal. They were all big meals. Now, today, I don't eat pork. But that woman could throw down on some pork chops.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Back in the day, that was...
It doesn't seem to happen as much, because we did the same thing, both of my grandparents. So we grew up near one of them, and she's Southern cooking to the T. I mean, to the point... Hey, Graham. To the point where she makes, like, Jell-O with, like, celery and fruit and vegetables in it. Yeah, right? Weird.
Yeah, that's
total Southern cooking.
That's outside my realm.
But she would get into, like, collard greens, and it was to the extreme. It was Southern cooking. And then my other grandmother lived up north, my dad's mom, and it was all like Italian food, and actually some like European style food. Paprikash was like our favorite meal. I don't know if you ever heard of it or not, but that was the one deal. Same thing. We go to my grandmother's house. what's the one thing we asked for? We got to have paprikash.
Okay. All right.
So it's like a chicken with like paprika and like sour cream. And I mean,
so it was just chicken? It was just a different...
basically chicken, but
okay.
like it wasn't just the chicken. It was the mashed potatoes that she made that went along with it. It was the salad that went along with it. It was like the bread that went along with it. It was the whole experience. And that was just normal in her household. That's just what she did. But when we went to go visit her, that's what we had.
Well, I can tell you, like, the way that they cooked, my grandmother, and even from hearing your stories, we couldn't eat that way now.
Probably not.
I mean, with
it's like 5,000 calories.
Lard. You know, when they were frying chicken, they were frying chicken in lard.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the vats of it just...
Like in the big buckets.
Food.
I remember
Yes.
at my grandma's house, she had little buckets of lard. Mm-hmm. And today, I think that would just make me puke.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just even like looking at chitlins. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there today eat chitlins.
I've tried them.
I was forced to try them because that was, I guess, a staple in my family. And chitlins with hot sauce was the thing. Now, you know, I don't think there's anyone out there that praises the smell of chitlins.
No.
Especially when
that's like the worst
cooking.
when they're cleaning them.
Oh, yeah.
So we used to walk into one of my friend's house and she was making them. And then my brother and I would walk in and we were like, oh, man, what is that? And my friend, he would be like, yeah, you don't want to be in here right now. But he said, wait till afterwards. I'm like, really? I don't know if I want it afterwards, before or later, or watching someone else eat it. No. She made us eat them one time.
Yeah, like I said, I was forced to eat them.
I wasn't, well, you know how you're in your friend's house and it's his grandmother and they suggest that you should try something.
I mean, you don't want to be rude.
You don't want to be rude.
You don't want to be rude.
So we tried them. I can't say it was the best experience, but I got to be honest, they weren't the worst thing I've ever eaten either.
Pretty close. Not the worst thing. However, I've only had them once. Like I said, I was forced to eat them to at least try it. That's the household that I grew up in. You could not say no to something without at least trying it one time.
Yeah. That's a rule in our house.
Oh, yeah. So tried it. Not a fan. Don't need to do it again. I don't ever need to clean them again or have them in my house ever.
No.
So
that goes with like pork rinds. I know some people eat pork rinds too.
Back in the day, pork rinds.
When you're a kid.
When you were a kid.
Not now.
I used to go. We had a store around the corner, and we used to go to the store and get some pork rinds. And people in my neighborhood. Now I grew up in Los Angeles. I'm not sure how many of you actually did this or do this today. They would sell pickles, and
at the convenience store.
At the convenience store.
Pickles. Or pickled eggs, or like just pickles.
Well, they had pickled pig feet too. I'll get into that story, but they would sell pickles, and then you would get a peppermint stick.
Oh, okay.
You get a peppermint stick, and you would burrow the peppermint stick into the pickle, and it was like a mint sweet. Now, I wasn't a fan of it, but that was one of the things that
can't say I've
people
ever heard of that.
Oh yeah,
until right now.
That's a Los Angeles thing. It might be a Southern thing as well.
Keep that in L.A.
Oh, yeah. Now, I'm not sure how many people actually do it today, but I do know that going back to the pickled pig feet, I was one of those individuals that would run to the corner store to get pickled pig feet.
Oof.
Yeah, it was, now, thinking about it, it makes my stomach turn.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
But back in the day, oh, my goodness, that was the thing. That was the thing that we just had to run out and get. I had to run out and get it.
Hey, we all had our thing.
Yeah.
Mine was bubble gum. Yours was pickled pig feet with peppermint sticks.
Well, I like bubble gum. I like candy. There was a lot of candy I liked.
What's your favorite candy?
My favorite candy?
Like number one, bar none. I'll eat it anytime. And you work out a lot too, so I mean, you still got to.
It would probably have to be the honey. Is it the honeydew? They're like little bite-sized candies.
Yeah, honey something.
I haven't seen them in a long time.
Yeah, they're like real chewy.
Yeah, they're chewy. What
are those things called?
All right, somebody's gonna have to let us know what those are called.
Why do we do this every week? There's always something
know.
we can. Our memories are going bad. We can't remember the name of anything.
For you guys to know out there is that, we don't pre-plan these conversations. We kind of discuss a topic and we jump into it and have an organic conversation about it. So that's one of the reasons why
we did some research last week.
Slips. Well, we needed to do some research because we were providing them information on finances. So
what are those things called? Honey. Man, now that's gonna bother me.
Oh yeah. You know what?
All right, my favorite, while he's looking that up, has to be, it used to be kind of between two, and I think it's Reese Cups. Reese peanut butter cups.
I like Reese.
And not like that crap they got now with the big cups. To me, that's like, it messes up the ratio. There's a ratio, right, of peanut butter to chocolate, right? Mm-hmm. There's a ratio between peanut butter and chocolate, and the big cups, too much peanut butter. Now they also have like the quarter pound Reese Cups, and we've gotten those for like the holidays. Now I don't know if I like those, but the regular, just good old Reese Cups, those are my favorite. And I think my second would be like Three Musketeers. I don't know. I've always liked the Three Musketeers. You can't find it?
No, but candy bars. If we go to candy bars, and we're gonna figure out what that other candy is in a moment. Candy bars back in the day for me was Snickers.
Snickers, yeah.
Oh yeah, Snickers. I used to. I mean, it was at one point I would have a Snickers almost every day.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't eat
phases.
healthy. I didn't eat healthy back in the day.
We'd go through phases. So I played baseball a lot too. And we were at the ball field, and the one thing they always had, you ever had a cowtail?
No.
They're like these long stretch of like, they're almost like caramel with like powdered sugar on the outside, but on the inside there's like a cream. No. Those are pretty good. They're kind of like caramel creams, but they're stretched out to like a stick.
Okay.
But they're called cowtails. We always had those.
Twinkies.
Twinkies?
I was a big fan of Twinkies back in the day.
Were you sad when they took them off the shelf? Now they're back.
I was, but
you don't.
When they came, no. When they disappeared and they came back, I think I was rushing to go and get some, just for the nostalgia purpose.
Yeah,
and
we got some. We bought a box of them as you remember when they told them they were going out of they weren't putting them on the shelves anymore. So we went out and bought a box of them just because, and we hadn't had them in years. There was no reason for us to get them.
We can probably still eat those. The preservatives in those things.
The ones
for life.
If we still had them, we ate them. Yeah, so we didn't think about it back in the day, but when you eat a Twinkie, it was all good, whatever. Nowadays, when you pull it out of the package, you eat it, it's like nice and moist, right? Do you know how much oil is in those things to make that work? I feel like you can like twist it, and it would like drip out of whatever the preservatives or oils that are in it now.
Man, I was thinking the other day, like a lot of the things that we ate back then.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
I couldn't even process it now.
No, I don't even know. Yeah. Well, so actually, the junk food side, yes. We ate pretty healthy in our house. That was mostly my mom, right? She always cooked. She always made stuff for us. Everything was fresh. She always came home, even though when she was working, it was a time when she stayed home with us. But when she went back to work, she always made sure there was some kind of dinner, right? But back then it was like, I mean, everything was chicken and pasta. We'd get like anything with like hamburger. We didn't even do like Mexican food. We didn't do that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean,
mostly Italian food.
My mother cooked. She also not necessarily implied, but ensured that we all knew how to cook at a young age. And so it was, I have 3 older brothers, or 2 older brothers, 2 older sisters, and a younger brother. And as we were growing up, we had to take turns learning and cooking for the family. And so for the most part, I believe we ate fairly healthy. Because we had home cooked meals.
Oh yeah.
But I wouldn't say that we any of us cook today how we cooked back then.
Again, no, I don't know too many people that do. And out of the 4 of us, I had 2 older sisters and my younger brother. My older sister, my oldest, she probably picked up a little bit more because she had to take care of us a lot of times when my mom was at work. And then my other sister, she I don't know that she cooked a whole lot, but she could. I mean, she picked it up, but I was the one that hung out in the kitchen all the time. My brother, forget about it. He didn't want to boil water.
Could he boil water?
Yeah, he could. But on that note, I do have a niece that has a problem back in the day trying to figure out how to heat up water. She actually was in the house one day, and she needed to heat up water for I don't even know what. I don't know if it was for mac and cheese or if it was for tea or coffee. Or I don't know what it was for. But she had the nerve to ask, how do you heat up this water?
Add heat to it.
All she had to do was put it in a glass and put it in a microwave. Or put it in a pot and put it on the stove. She had no idea how to boil water.
That's unfortunate. Hopefully, young lady, you have
it ain't young lady. It's Kayla.
Kayla,
I'm calling you out.
Kayla, hopefully now you know how to...
she does now. She can actually cook now. Yeah.
But I found it. ladies and gentlemen, my favorite candy, and some of you are probably gonna be like, "Ill, really?" I loved Biddle honey candy.
Biddle honey.
Biddle honey. Those are I can eat those all day.
Really?
Those are my things. I love those.
That's like, I mean, you can eat Jolly Ranchers all day. Did you ever get into like Fireballs, the little red Fireballs?
I had a few of those, but you couldn't eat a lot of those. Like the Jolly Ranchers, over time, because they were so hard, they would, your mouth would get sensitive to them.
Yeah.
So you could only eat so many at a time. Even with the Fireballs, I like the Fireballs to just suck on it and get through the heat real quick.
I'm not gonna lie, when I got into eating Jolly Ranchers is back when we were in high school and they had that drink Zima.
I remember.
You remember Zima? Y'all remember Zima? Actually, I think they just put it back on the shelves. We used to put Jolly Ranchers inside the Zimas. Okay. That was like the big deal. But I wasn't drinking in high school. Don't get me wrong. Not at all.
You guys, I was good. For those that know me, know I don't even drink. So
no, I was good.
But what's your favorite like fast food restaurant?
Ooh, right now, man, probably, and I guess you consider this fast food. Probably Chipotle.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like Chipotle. But I think it's changed over the years since they've gotten so big. But back when it was first opened up and everything, I mean, I still like it today. I think Chipotle is probably the number one.
There's a new place here in Orlando. It's called PDQ.
PDQ. Did you go to it yet? Because I haven't gone to it yet.
I've been to it twice already.
Of course you have.
Been to it twice. It literally opened, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I've been there twice. So it's PDQ is People Dedicated to Quality. And it's primarily a chicken restaurant, similar to Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
But
they do like grilled chicken though too?
They do grilled chicken. They do fried chicken. They do chicken salads. I believe their menu is a little broader than Chick-fil-A's.
I'm sure.
And
they're open on Sundays.
In my opinion, and some people may not agree, I believe that PDQ's taste, their chicken is a better quality.
Well, that's why they have the Q.
Dedicated to quality.
I would ask you how you really think it is, but you said it's your number one right now, so that's
right now. Yeah, I would probably say that. I mean, if I was in Los Angeles, definitely have to be at InNOut.
InNOut's all right.
There's a spot in LA called.
You eat burgers?
I do eat burgers. I'm not a vegan.
No, I didn't know. I just didn't know you eat burgers.
Yeah,
I eat one once in a while. I do like InNOut burgers.
I eat hamburgers.
Someone tried to convince me that White Castle's better, and I'm like, nah.
Then what?
Then InNOut. I'm like, no.
No, I think my first experience with White Castle or even Crystals was in Tennessee.
Yeah, but White Castle is like when I don't know, it's just like it tastes processed. InNOut's just beef.
Yeah. Well, their beef is fresh. It's not frozen.
So the East Coast version of that really is Five Guys. And I grew up, so we lived in Virginia near the first Five Guys that was opened up there, and that's where our first experience was. So I still have a liking for burgers for Five Guys.
That's a conversation that is epic along political lines if you're comparing Five Guys to InNOut.
East or west of the Mississippi.
But,
because there are no InNOuts, what is it, east of Colorado?
Actually, as of last month, InNOut is opening 5 restaurants in Colorado.
But it doesn't go past Colorado.
Well, they're actually venturing further.
They're trying to come east.
Further east.
I don't know. It might be like
slow process.
Will it be a different recipe by the time it gets to the East Coast? Kind of like Coors, right? Coors, it always tastes different apparently in Colorado than it does on the East Coast. Stuff like that.
Well, the
not that you drink
the meat, I guess, because they have a processing. So what I read is that they're going to have more in Colorado and Texas, and they have a processing plant because they don't freeze their meat.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to get it. It has to be within a certain number of hours away from an actual restaurant. And so as they open up processing plants, then that gives them the opportunity to move. But yeah, I think the taste will vary a little bit because,
Well, so when we lived in Europe, McDonald's tasted different over there. It's just like Coke.
Well, yeah, because
Coke tastes different around the world because they use different sugars based on where they live.
They use different ingredients. Here in the States, McDonald's is crap. But I went to Paris and had a McDonald's hamburger
with
mayonnaise, depending
the fries,
depending on where you're from. It was absolutely delicious.
Yeah, we occasionally we eat it, but our kids shied away from fast food a while ago. But I think it's mostly like I say, Chipotle, Moe's. What is like fast food pizza like Blaze?
Well, we like Matteo's.
Uncle Matteo's.
Uncle Matteo's.
We mentioned that a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Uncle Matteo's is legit.
Yeah, I mean, no, not hating on Blaze. Blaze is good, but Uncle Matteo's is a good spot. And we're putting all these tags in for these restaurants.
Help us out.
Yeah, there's a place in Los Angeles. It's called 26 Beach. It was in the marina, and
never heard of it.
Well, it's just one
like
little
hole in the wall.
Yeah, little hole in the wall. And when it first opened, kind of like driving by, we saw them grand opening, so we went in, had a chance to meet the owner. That was, and probably still today, my number one favorite restaurant of any restaurant that I've been to in the world. 26 Beach. I haven't been there in years. From my understanding, yes. The last time I was in LA, we went by, so it was still open. And I mean, we frequent that place so many times. The owner knew us by name.
Oh, that's where you want to be.
So we could come in, and there would be a line, and he would let us sneak in through the line to get a table. I mean, they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oatmeal. I mean, just simple oatmeal. Oatmeal, best oatmeal I've ever had.
Really?
Not just the oats, but how they prepare it, what they put in it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And then they have this 26-layer cake that they offer, along with the 26er.
The 26er? Is that like the old 96er?
It's a burger.
Oh, it's a burger, not a steak.
It's a burger that you get, and I believe it has like 9 patties. It's 26 something ounces, something crazy. It was just something. It's something ridiculous.
But do you get it for free if you finish it?
Yes, they do have one of those challenges. If you're able to eat the whole thing for free, then eat the whole thing, then it's free.
It's kind of like the 911 challenge.
But the downside to the story, as the place began to grow and popularity began to come on, managers bringing in more money, we stopped seeing him around. And so he had other staff members that were running. And so, when we would go by, we didn't get that VIP experience anymore. So it was like, food's still good. Food was still good. But,
I know what you mean. That's tough.
We became entitled. We were entitled going by. And
it let you down. It was a big downer, right?
Yeah, we weren't feeling the love anymore. So, I mean, but we still frequent the place. We just didn't go as often because the place became popular. The waits were, a little long if you didn't have a reservation to get in. And again, the reason we went so often is because my man would get us in.
Yeah.
And so
I think I would have had a place like that when I traveled to Seattle a couple times, and I'd stay at the Residence Inn, wherever it was, right near the water, and right down the street, because we'd try to walk everywhere we could. There was an Italian restaurant right on the water, and it was a really, really small place. So my buddy Jason and I used to go up there for work, and that was a spot when we go for dinner, because we walked in and it was like every time we went in, the owner was always there. And it might have been 6 months to a year in between visits, but he remembered who we were. And we'd come in, he'd hand us the menu, we'd look at it for a few minutes, then he'd come by our table and he took the menu from us. He says, "You don't need that." I'm like, "What?" He says, "I'll bring you something, don't worry."
Okay.
So we got to the point where we just fold the menu up and just wait for him to come by. So he would just mix something up for us because he remembered who we were. I guess we tipped well, so he always remembered us. But he just remembered our food because we talked to him a lot. He's an Italian guy. Jason and I were both, Italian descent, whatever.
That's an
so
experience.
That helped, right? So, but the food every single time was just outstanding. Like, I don't ever think I'll run into a place like that again. I don't know. Hopefully I will, but just to have that experience, like that one-on-one, like he remembered who you were and he just catered to you. He brought you whatever he felt like making for the day. It wasn't even on the menu, but here, I'll whip up this pasta with mushrooms and whatever. And it was awesome. So a couple years ago, I went back with a friend of mine and I was looking for the restaurant. Well, lo and behold, the restaurant went out of business. The gentleman actually passed away. So, and obviously, went to the wayside, but man, I probably would have eaten there every day if I lived in Seattle.
Well, what's the craziest experience you've had going out to eat?
Ooh, craziest? Whoops. Craziest experience. I've had a couple. So in 1 year for a business party, corporate party we had in DC, it was a company I worked for about a year. And for Christmas time, so the guy that owned the business is actually British. But he had the business here in the States. So he didn't do like a traditional American Christmas bash or whatever. We went to a restaurant in DC called Marrakesh. And if you've been to Marrakesh, you know what I'm talking about. It was my first experience with that style of cooking. So it's basically food from that area, from Marrakesh. And they had like belly dancers and like all the, everybody sits around a table. Yeah. Sits around the table and they bring you the bowl of rice and everybody eats from, with their hands. So you have to wash your hands beforehand. So that was a little different for me, but it was cool. But the only other time I've ran into something like that was actually when I was in Djibouti. Funny how this place keeps coming up in our conversations.
That's 3 times.
At least
3 times in 7 episodes.
But it was similar, right? So it's Ethiopian style food and Djiboutian food, depending on where you were eating. So the Ethiopian food, they bring around these big circular plates, and guys who are listening, please don't kill me because I don't remember all the names. But basically they have this, it's like a sponge bread, and I don't remember the name of it, but they covered the whole bottom of the pan with it. So if there's like 8 people sitting around the table, they would put a portion of like a little salad, some spicy beef, some whatever, lamb or whatever it was, chicken. And then like in the middle, there's like vegetables and whatnot. And everybody just kind of, you peel off a piece of the sponge bread, you scoop in some of the meat or whatever, and you basically just eat with your hands. So that was another cool experience. But they had a place like that.
Experience.
Yeah. In Stuttgart where we live, it was his wife was Ethiopian and he started a similar style restaurant. So those are probably the coolest experiences I've had eating.
Well, I would say my experience, not necessarily a cool one, and it's not even a restaurant, but you maybe think about it when you were leading into your Christmas party. And I've been to Christmas parties where, it's a potluck and people bring their own food.
Yeah.
I'm going to just stop there. That's all I need to say. I don't need to go any further with that story.
Mac and cheese.
Everyone knows how Christmas parties can end up. But one place, it was a Japanese restaurant. This was in California. And I've seen the videos. I'm sure some of you have seen the videos. I'm one of those people that likes to try new things. And if I haven't tried it, because again, that's how I grew up. It was like you got to at least try it once. And so calamari.
Oh yeah.
But this was fresh calamari.
Yeah.
And so if they bring it out to you in this plate, and it's the whole squid.
Oh.
And
did they at least cut it up?
No.
Oh.
No.
So you're
because what happens is they give you this oil. Or this, it's heated. I would say it's like a soy sauce. I don't really know how to describe it other than like a soy sauce because it's what it kind of looked like.
Yeah.
But you pour it over the calamari, and it starts to move.
Oh no!
It starts to move.
No, sir.
And that like
nah.
You talk about your skin crawling. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? and you have your fork or your chopsticks, and you go down and get it, and it wraps around the stick, and it's not alive. So from what they say, it's not alive. It's a chemical reaction with the heat and
it just moves the
nerves. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, you talking about people getting high pitch in their voice.
See, I've never seen that.
Oh,
when I was in like Indonesia and Malaysia or whatever, they would have squid, but it was just already like cooked up and ready for you to eat. But I still didn't like it. I'm not a fan of squid with the texture. It's too chewy.
Yeah. So.
See, no, that's crazy. That's weird. So that's like eating legit Chinese food or dim sum. There's a dim sum restaurant in Northern Virginia where right near where we used to work, and the guy I worked with was from Hong Kong, and he wanted to have us get together. I think it was us going away actually, or something. I don't know. Either way, he had us come for lunch one day, and it's his whole plate. It was the first time I've ever even seen it. I don't know if you ever had dim sum.
I have.
So all the little pots of little different food, and the one that got me was the chicken feet. It actually looked like this. It's like chicken feet.
Chicken feet.
Chicken feet.
Okay.
To this day, because they were kind of slimy, and I ate it.
Tried it once.
I tried it. Not a fan.
So, in New York, because I don't need to talk about chicken feet. I'm I might go against my tradition in trying that. No, I would probably try it. But my frat brother, Phi Beta Sigma, Blue Phi, Darren Marshall, we were in New York, and he wanted to take us to this restaurant. Now, this is one of those restaurants, definitely a hole in the wall. I would have walked by 1,000 times. It would not have ever considered walking into this place.
Yeah.
And they're called hot pots.
Okay, yeah.
Or I think they're called hot pots or something along these lines. Now, I have a kid who has food allergies.
Okay.
And so when we go out anywhere, when we travel, when we go out to a restaurant, that's always a concern on, we got to make sure that there's something that he can eat. And even when we find a place with something that he can eat, he wants to be picky.
Well,
he wants to be picky about what he eats. And so we go to this restaurant, and obviously my main concern is, what is he going to eat in this place? Because I would have
even know what it is.
would have never walked in this place. And so we get in there, and they bring you a menu. Now it's Asian type of restaurant, and so you pick out your proteins, you pick out your vegetables, and you pick out your flavor for your pot. And so they bring these pots out, and it's just water. It's boiled water.
Boil the water. You boil the food.
Boiled water, and they have different flavors for your water. And you take the chicken or the shrimp. I think it was shrimp. I think we had shrimp. But whatever your protein is, and you put it in the water.
Yeah.
You put your vegetables in the water, and it cooks within 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was the most awesome experience.
Was it good?
Oh, yeah.
The food was good?
And my son absolutely loved it. I mean, for him to go in there and enjoy the experience as much as he did.
Yeah.
He likes to cook. And so it was almost like, hey, I get to cook right at the table kind of thing.
Right.
And then they have this bar that you have to go up to, and it has probably 60 different sauces and flavors, and you can mix and match and blend and make your own combination.
Sure, yeah.
Man, that experience was awesome. Thank you, Darren, for that, because we still talk about that today. And, I mean, that's the kind of place I would go and experience.
Have you ever taken them to a Korean barbecue place like that, where you cook it in the hot plate in the middle?
No, not. Stove? There aren't a lot here that, at least that I'm familiar with.
The good ones I've eaten at are in California.
Yeah, those are the only places that I've ever been.
So I went to San Jose and visited some family. I was there for work, but they took me out to a couple, one in particular, and then I went again with someone else. But yeah, those are really good too, because you get to order all the different meat you want and cook it up right in front of you.
Yeah,
yeah, that was really good too.
Yeah, not a lot here.
Man, it's amazing how much, like, I've eaten a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Well, I got what's the best steak you've ever had?
Ooh, now I was thinking about that earlier, and in all honesty, the best steak I have ever had was at it was an Italian restaurant. It was an Italian restaurant here in Orlando. Yes, so they had a special chef come in for this restaurant, and it's a commercial restaurant. It's the what is C?
Carrabba's?
It might be Carrabba's. I think it's Carrabba's, and this particular Carrabba's had a guest chef come in for a week to cook, and they had a special steak that they don't carry on the menu. Like, they advertised for this, and we went in, and I tell you, that was the best. I have not.
That's because you had the guy making it.
I haven't been anywhere. I haven't been to SDK here in Orlando. I haven't been to any steak place. Fleming's. I've been there. I haven't had better steak than that one.
Really?
It was tender.
That's because you had the guy cooking it.
Flavorful.
That's what it was.
And I have compared every steak to that one.
Really? So the best one. It's strange you went to a big place like that, like a common restaurant. Yeah, the best one I went to was an Argentinian steak place that only seats about 15, 16 people in London. And again, we were there for work as usual. And my buddy Nathan had been there before, so he takes me there. And they actually, from the last visit he was there, is one of them stories where you go back and they remember your stuff. They actually keep track of what you ordered before.
Like Facebook.
Well, they had, sorry. Yeah, right. Here, look what I ate today. I'm not going to lie, I've done that before. Taking pictures of your food. My daughter always said, why are you taking pictures of your food? And then what'd she start doing recently?
Taking pictures of food.
But yeah, this place we'd walk into, and they looked him up. Asked him his name. Actually, one of the waitresses remembered him for some reason. But yeah, they had his list of what he had before, and he was showing me the menu, and I ordered. It was, one of those experiences. Like, I've never eaten steak like this before. Of course, it was in the UK, and it was Argentinian style steak. Shocker, but that's the best you can get over there, and it was absolutely out of this world. And I don't know if it was a weird spiral cut, almost like a tenderloin, but it was like huge. It was too much to eat, but it was awesome.
That's good. That's good.
But I don't eat as much red meat now anymore, so once in a while.
Occasionally. So I mentioned my son with his food allergies.
Yeah.
And having those challenges. As he was growing up, we had to learn that he had food allergies, and really kind of
blowing up.
Well, he would fluctuate in his growth, his weight. Primarily, he's allergic to dairy. When he was younger, he was allergic to soy. He was allergic to peas and some nuts.
I think I remember when we played basketball, when the boys played basketball when they were real young. I think you guys were going through some of that experimentation.
Yeah, because we were still kind of learning the process, and we were taking him to allergists to kind of test. We don't do that anymore. However, he has grown out of those allergies, and he's just primarily allergic to dairy now.
So it's just dairy now?
Whey protein, and just any kind of milk or dairy protein.
Oh, okay.
But he can do eggs and all those things. Still very picky. But I wanted to
Zion, stop being so damn picky.
But I wanted to bring that up is because as you interact with other families and other people, they don't know how to deal with kids with allergies. And
they always deal with the same ones at school.
Yeah,
peanuts.
But even the severity of that, but you would get people like, well, he has food allergy. What does he eat? And it's like, well, he eats food.
Eats food, dum.
Eats food. But just for people to understand the severity of allergies, peanut allergies. Although my son doesn't have it, I have athletes on our team that have peanut allergies, and so we have to be cautious of that. And just being in the room with the kid with or a kid with the allergies, being in the room. Is definitely it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But for him, for being that he has grown out of a lot of allergies, it has opened the door for him to try different things. Foods. And actually, it's made us better cooks and chefs because we have learned to experiment with different types of, elements. Like instead of using butter, you can use applesauce.
Oh yeah.
Instead of using certain things, you can use bananas.
Probably better for you anyway.
Do
you do like the cauliflower instead of like the pizza crust?
No.
Have you tried that yet?
No. I know Oprah. Really I know Oprah has one. Her pizza that does that, but no, we just go with.
I want to try that.
Regular wheat.
Well, actually, I have tried it. I want to try to make it. I haven't made it myself.
Yeah, we go with regular wheat. But anyway, I wanted to kind of bring that up just to let people know that learn a little bit, even though you may not have a child that has allergies. And on that note, I believe, based off of everything we've learned, that everyone has a food allergy.
Oh, I'm sure.
And that your body just reacts differently. So if your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, even wife, they get a little flatulence when they eat certain things, that is a type of food allergy.
Yeah,
that is your body reacting.
So I gotta say it now because I already started. My wife she's finding an allergy, but she gets headaches. It's not flatulence. She's getting headaches. But so she loves. Now my wife is from San Diego originally, California. She's from that standpoint, she's a California girl. So everything Mexican food, guacamole, anything. But now, and she loves anything with corn products, so nachos, corn chips, whatever. She thinks that's actually triggering her headaches now.
That's a possibility. Like Ebony does not do corn. She loves corn, but she doesn't eat corn.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't agree with her.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't do corn. And my sister LaDon, she doesn't do chicken.
Chicken?
She doesn't do chicken. Chicken has.
See, that's a weird one to me.
Yeah, well,
everybody eats chicken.
Chicken puts her to sleep.
Really?
Yes, like it's almost like a drug.
What about turkey? So does that tryptophan really get to? Because it's actually in chicken too, but it's more present.
I'm not sure how much a turkey impacts her, but I know like chicken, she can only eat small moderations of it because it's almost like a drug. It will knock her out.
That's strange.
So
I've never heard of that one.
She avoids chicken. So I think, a lot of people have different food allergies, and it's important for people to go out and learn as much as they can, not only for themselves, but just being able to really interact with other people and not being shocked if you invite somebody over and you ask them, hey, my grandmother would really want you to try this, and you have to politely decline because, hey, I
give them a reason why, like give them a technical reason why, because then they won't feel as bad, or you won't feel as bad. See, my sister, like, it's not an allergy; she just doesn't like chocolate. That's one of those, like,
that's crazy.
Who doesn't, right?
Who doesn't like? Come on, man.
My
who
sister
doesn't like chocolate?
Sorry, Summer. She doesn't. She doesn't care for it. She doesn't do anything for her. I'm like, she didn't do sweets much in general anyway, but chocolate. Never had chocolate. Well, she's had it. She just didn't like it. Weird.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't know.
Really sorry to hear that. But anyway,
you're missing out, Summer.
But anyway, I think that's a good point to end on.
Yeah. Well, I think so. What we talked about a lot of our favorite foods, kind of a fun topic today.
Yeah.
I think in the future we could probably get into health aspects of what to eat and what not to eat. Again, we're not nutritionists or anything, but both of us have a pretty decent background on understanding what's healthy and what's not healthy. A lot of people are always looking for advice, losing weight. At the end of the day, I think it's usually just eating right and being consistent and not eating junk food.
And I can say just from our experience, like I mentioned before, because my son had food allergies, we have really learned a lot on how to prepare different types of meals using a variety of different ingredients. So, reach out to us if you want some advice on just our personal experience on how to prepare, bake, cook a variety of different things.
I got an idea.
My wife is a queen at it, so
we might even get in the kitchen one day.
We might be able to
do an episode in the kitchen.
I think we should do that.
You guys want to learn how to make energy bars? I used to make energy bars out of honey and oats and granola and stuff like that.
Well, I will say, look, if you guys can do us a favor, so we're trying to build up our fan base here. So if you guys can share, if you guys can pass this along, and if we get, say 500 views on this video?
Sure.
We're starting out small. We get 500 views and at least half the likes. We will do in the kitchen.
A cooking segment.
And
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. And I will make my famous cinnamon swirl pancakes.
Oof. That might be worth it, guys.
Yeah, I'll do my cinnamon swirl pancakes.
Because I want to try those.
Yes.
He's never made those for me.
Yeah. Well, I'll make it for you guys.
I would love it.
I'll make it for you guys.
But I'm gonna be here with him. So anyway, yeah, maybe we'll talk about some nutrition stuff later and get into it. But yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for today.
Wrapping it up.
All right. Well, listen, as usual, hit that notification bell at the top. Give us some likes. Again, I think last week I went through a whole list of places you can go to check us out. There's 9 different podcast places you go. So if you don't have iTunes or Spotify, there's like 7 other ones you can go check it out at. So YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we try to keep you guys informed. Yep.
Hit them up.
Get them going. All right. So anyway, this is the end of episode 7. Appreciate the conversation. So yeah, here we go. This is Damon.
This is Mike.
And this is a damn good show.
Peace.